I just wanted to talk about rep ranges. So the main thing with rep ranges is that when we start off training, in the higher rep range with lighter weights is the key factor where I want you to be, and you'll see that in your app there. You'll see like 10 to 12 reps, 12 to 15 reps. The reason we're starting there is that we want to get our bodies used to the movements that we're doing. So when you're doing an exercise, some exercises will be brand new, some you would have done before, but we want to make sure that you're competent and confident in the exercise that you're doing, that you've done the movement pattern, it feels good. You've actually learned what, okay, this feels hard at this weight, so you're learning what RPE is, rate of perceived exertion. So it's good to have that scale of 1 to 10, how hard does something feel. By working within like that higher rep range, you're getting a longer time under the weight to get a feeling of what that feels like, so you can get an accurate measurement of RPE, and that'll tell you whether you should progress or not. So that's why we go for kind of higher rep ranges, lighter weight at the beginning, get feedback from the exercise. You have more time in that exercise to get that feedback. And based on that feedback, we can decide whether we like the exercise, what the movement feels like, any niggles, any issues, do we need to change the exercise, or then should we progress in the rep ranges. So the goal is to push our bodies in a close proximity to failure, and that's what's going to create an adaptive response within our muscles. But we have to kind of earn the right to get there first. So that's why here first, everything feels good, DOMs aren't severe, we feel okay after like a bit of soreness for a day or two, which is normal, but then we feel okay. That's okay, great. Now we can move from here to here. Don't be in a rush to do it, but just feel confident that now we've been doing our 12 to 15 or 10 to 12 reps. We do want to work towards lower reps and heavier weights. So when we go towards lower reps and heavier weights, by dropping the repetitions, we're able to increase the weight. And again, this comes back to why we're trained. We get caught up in that 10 to 12 rep range, but the goal is to train close to failure, and we have to learn what failure feels like. And with failure, it means what are the reps I can do with leaving maybe 1, max 2 reps in reserve. Reps in reserve, let's say if you're doing an incline chest press, and with the incline chest press you're pushing out and you really feel like if I go again, that's probably all I'm going to get, and that 1 rep, that's close to failure. You can't push to failure every time. No, it's good to do that every so often, but pushing to failure on every set, on every exercise is not feasible. But I do want you to be in that 3rd set, or if it's 2 sets, whatever it is in your app, that you are pushing when you're looking for like, okay, I can barely get 1 more rep, I can barely get 2 more reps. That's where your body goes, oh shit, I have to adapt to that. This is something new. I'm not used to this. And it's that response that helps us build new muscle tissue. Obviously through refueling and recovery and sleep and everything else. But from a training standpoint, the goal is to get as strong as possible, and to get as strong as possible, we want to move from higher rep ranges with slightly lighter weights to lower rep ranges with heavier weights. Does that mean you can't build muscle with higher rep ranges? No. You can build it with higher rep ranges as long as we're training close to failure, or proximity to failure. And don't be afraid of that point of that word failure. Like, close to failure means in that exercise, in that last set, have I pushed my limits because I've built up the technique, I'm confident in the movement, and it's really easier to do in a machine-based exercise. You can feel more confident versus, like, say if you're doing an incline dumbbell press or a barbell squat, there's a bit of fear there. You might need someone spotting you. So do be mindful of your exercise selection, but where you feel like you can, I think something like a leg extension machine, a chest press machine, you can definitely look at just like trying that point where you're kind of going, I can barely get a rep, because you can just go back to that start position. So I think that'll be key when it comes to deciding to lift a bit heavier. And don't think that if you've been doing like 10 reps of everything, that if you jump up the weight and you only get 5 or 6, that you failed. You haven't. You've actually done what we're trying to do, and you've pushed your body to that point of failure or close to failure. The following week, once you have your sets done, you do same weight for set 1, same weight for set 2, try that weight again for set 3. If you get an extra rep or 2, you've progressed, your body's adapted. So hope this explains why we go with kind of higher reps at the beginning, but the goal being lower reps, heavier weight, training with close proximity to failure is the goal in the end when it comes to getting stronger.